In that abode of Navadvip, where Sri Chandrasekhara-acharya, sovereign of the Guru Brahmins, shone in transcendence, hairs erect, thrilled by Krishna's names, and soaked by tears flooding from his eyes as he reeled under the impact of Sri Ram. From Rai Gupta, from his diary, Caitanya-caritamrita, Mahakavya. So yes, the power, the impact of the holy name was so strong that Chandrasekhara was just almost knocked off his feet. He reeled. Reeling means he was sort of turning, couldn't keep his balance. So strong was the power of the holy name. Another advanced Brahmin, Gopinath-acharya, took the path of hearing Sri Nam Japa. Then fully intoxicated with Krishna praying, Gopinath would again and again cry out his names. He thus created a wave of song, dance and music, on which he would dance like the ocean flooding its shores. So here is speaking about chanting japa and making musical waves on which one dances while chanting japa. It's a little different probably than what we chanted so far today. But nonetheless, one can imagine, as we sometimes become swept up, in the ecstasy of transcendental sound, we can imagine, we can just imagine what is possible, how far it could go. After some mad kirtan, it's easier to understand how Chandrasekhara was reeling under the impact of the name, or how Gopinath-acharya was dancing on waves of music that he just created by his japa, and dancing like dancing on waves that wash on the shore. So these are things to meditate on. These are things that make us understand deeper what chanting really is and how it goes just beyond having fun, beyond throwing each other around, beyond just jumping up and down, but that it is about the name and the joy of the name. The happiness that is there in the chanting of Krishna's name, because Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna is the ocean of mercy. Krishna is an ocean of transcendental love, and in this way, all Krishna's amazing qualities make the chanting something so amazing, something so extraordinary. When we look in the Skanda Purana, we find that Ratha Yatra began in the Satya Yuga and has been performed annually ever since. Still, 500 years ago, that Ratha Yatra got another dimension, because never before had there been such kirtan, such prem sankirtan, such kirtan which had been performed out of love. It is said that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back from South India, he just came a few days before Sannyasis. Somehow or other, the devotees from Bengal, they had heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be arriving very soon in Jagannath Puri. So therefore these devotees, they had also very quickly left West Bengal and had come to Puri to join the Lord. And then they performed Sankirtan, and this Sankirtan was extraordinary. It is said in the Madhya Lila that no one had ever heard such Sankirtan. Therefore we can with certainty say that since the Satya Yuga. Never before had Ratha Yatra been performed in that way. Because the kirtan that was now known and executed by the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was up to then never heard before, and everyone was amazed. So then Ratha Yatra took another dimension at the time when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu joined Ratha Yatra. And it is that Ratha Yatra that is the model of our Ratha Yatra. Our Ratha Yatra is not shaped after the Ratha Yatra as it took place since the Satya Yuga. No, it is not. Our Ratha Yatra is shaped after what happened when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got involved with Ratha Yatra. At that time, Ratha Yatra became just totally ecstatic. I was once in a South Indian procession where they also had a chariot. And the people were pulling the chariot, but there was no kirtan. And they're just pulling the chariot. And every 10 minutes they would sit down for 5 minutes. And then they pulled the chariot. And the whole meditation was, we are pulling the chariot. We're going to pull that chariot. Pulling the chariot. That's not our meditation. We're not thinking like that. Tomorrow we're going to pull the chariot. Yes, we will pull the chariot, and we also think for sure, I'll pull that chariot, because whoever pulls the chariot will surely go back to Godhead. So we will pull, but we will not look for just that. We are looking for the kirtan. Tomorrow we'll have an amazing kirtan before the chariots, for the Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. And we'll just see what happens there. We don't know. It all depends on the nature of mercy that will manifest. Kirtan is not a mechanical thing. It's not like a musical performance which is rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed, and then finally it's perfect. The right pitch, the right speed, the right everything, right? As musicians do. No, it's not that. It's some sort of, we throw some mantras up in the air and they bounce back from the mouth and bodies of other people, and then we'll see how they bounce up and down. There is a reciprocation, there is something, and sometimes Krishna just manifests in this mantra and it just takes over. In this way, at the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, kirtan became spontaneous. The chariot was moving along, and everyone, yes, people were pulling, but the dancing itself pulled Jagannath. The happiness pulled Jagannath. The jubilation pulled Jagannath. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not even pronounce the name Jagannath. He would just say Jaga, Jaga, Jaga. No one understood why he was calling out Jaga, Jaga, Jaga. But Rupa Goswami understood, because Rupa Goswami explained how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now in the mood of Srimati Radharani, was ecstatically pulling Krishna back towards Vrindavan, back to the place where he belonged. When Akrura took Krishna away from Vrindavan, it created an artificial situation. Krishna and Balaram stood on that chariot. Krishna and Balaram were smiling. Had they gone mad? Had they become totally bewildered? Didn't they understand that they could not be happy outside of Vrindavan? Didn't they realize it? It didn't appear to be so. They smiled. They smiled as Akrura took them away and happily went with Akrura to Mathura. How was it possible? Because there is no question that Krishna can be happy outside of Vrindavan. The gopis all knew it. Therefore they blocked the chariot. they know now that he's leaving Vrindavan, he's lost it. He's just lost it. He's just cutting off his own life. He's basically cutting off his own life energy here. He's basically dying. He'll be a ghost. He'll be just a shadow of himself outside of Vrindavan. How can he exist there when Vrindavan is the stage of his pleasure pastimes? How can he enjoy in that atmosphere of Mathura and Dwarka? Impossible. So enough now of this madness. We're pulling him back. And, oh yes, it is said that Puri is known as the Viraha Dham. It is the abode of Viraha, or the abode of separation. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Srimati Radharani, was experiencing separation. And it is said that usually Rath Yatra in Puri doesn't begin at a fixed time. You never know when it begins. It's sort of, everyone assembles before the Simhadwara and hits gongs and drums and whatever they do. Some are even chanting the holy name also. And everyone's just waiting for whenever Lord Jagannath may come out of the gate. And there's no really fixed time. It begins at 12. Like here in Germany, okay, 11:30 there will be like a little inauguration ceremony, and at 12, then geht's los, yeah? Then it starts, and as simple as that, and that will be 12, right? But in Puri it is not like that. It's more like Mexico. You never know, where it will sort of start happening, anything can start. And it's more about the ecstasy, like everyone is just, and people just wait, and they are not worried. When will it begin? No, they are simply just there in front of that gate, full of ecstasy, happily waiting with kirtan, happily waiting for the Lord to appear. But the time when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, it was different. It was different because this time it was not about the people having to wait. This time it was Lord Jagannath who had to wait, and he could not wait. Lord Jagannath could not wait to come out of that gate. Oh, he came out early, sure enough, on that day, because his eagerness was very great. Lord Jagannath was very eager to see the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here is the spirit of Radha and Krishna in separation being acted out and eager to meet, and that eagerness is represented. Therefore, it is called the Viraha Lila, or the pastime of separation. Yeah? And to increase that eagerness, the chariot got stuck. It wouldn't move. Somehow or other, Maharaj Prataparuta, the king, brought big wrestlers to pull that chariot, and still the chariot wouldn't move. Then the king got serious, and then elephants brought in, and he chained the elephants to the chariot. And the elephants, they were like goaded along until they were just like calling out loud, and pulling with full force, big male elephants. The chariot wouldn't move. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the king, take those elephants away from the chariot. And he told his associates to take the ropes in their hands. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself went to the back of the chariot and pulled the chariot pushed it with his head, and the chariot started moving, and the devotees were not even pulling. The rope was just lying in their hands. It was just moving along by the will of the Lord. This way, Ratha Yatra moves. When Srila Prabhupada's first Ratha Yatra was performed, Prabhupada himself was not well and stayed in a house near a beach in San Francisco, cold place actually. And Jagannath had been standing on a piano. There was a piano, and Jagannath had been standing on the piano as an altar. And then Jagannath was taken and put on a flatbed truck, and they looked in 3 directions. And then, in the middle of the parade, the old flatbed truck stalled, and it stopped, and it wouldn't move again. And when the devotees told that to Prabhupada, he was very happy. He said, yes, it was a success. It was a Ratha Yatra. Yes. Then the next Ratha Yatras, Jayananda started to build the chariots, and then they became big Ratha Yatras. The temple in San Francisco was so small that the whole temple was just used for cooking. Everything was one big kitchen, the whole temple. And on the sidewalk, they were sewing the canopy and they were making garlands. Right? It was all like the whole sidewalk was it. And the whole street was part of it, somehow or other. It was, for them, an incredibly big festival. And it was. The chariot was much larger than the chariot we have now. So, in this way, it was just amazing. Amazing what was being done. It was all happening by Prabhupada's desire to flood the world. Because when Lord Chaitanya appears, he has 2 purposes. He has his internal purpose, which is his own desire to act out the mood of Srimati Radharani, but he also has his external purpose to deliver all the conditioned souls in the material world. And we, of course, are especially meditating on that purpose, on how we can just bring the mercy to everyone and anyone. I've given a few Ratha Yatra lectures, and I remember that in London I was contemplating the Soweto Ratha Yatra, which we had, and in one year, the chariot, we had a huge quantity of fruit, and we're just distributing all this fruit, and then the fruit was finished. Then the chariot was decorated with fruit, and we ripped off all the fruit from the chariot, and we just distributed that also. So I ripped off a big pineapple, and I just ran to one wall, and there were these old people, and they were going, "Is this for us?" They obviously were poor, and had been poor their whole life, and now they were getting a whole pineapple, and these people were like, "Is this for us?" And they were so happy with that pineapple. And these people are from the land of the pineapples. You know? There's so many pineapples in South Africa, but somehow they never had a pineapple. That is maybe a great moment of ecstasy, to see actually how people who are suffering and who are destitute in this world are getting the mercy, are just getting the mercy of the Lord, and how much happiness Ratha Yatra can bring them. And again, tomorrow we can go and try and do so. Alright, we're going to that national symbol, the Brandenburger Tor, which is like a big monument in Germany, something like, every country has something, you know, the Arc de Triomphe or the Eiffel Tower, and Germany has the Brandenburger Tor. It's a big arch, a big gate, and there we start, and it means something in this country to be there. Anyway, we have to find some people also there, and somehow or other we have to get the people, because ultimately this is a movement that spreads from individual to individual, from person to person. We have to find those people who are responding with satisfaction, and somehow or other they have to get some mercy. That is our business. How, what mercy, a book, prasadam, whatever it is, or pull the rope or dance, we want that mercy to be distributed. Kavichandra Maharaj was with his old crooked body running up and down from the chariot, just giving out mercy at a high pace. He was going fast, you know, he wasn't wasting a second. He was just like every opportunity, take, grab more, take, tireless, you know, like suddenly totally enlightened, just filled with desire to somehow or other be an agent of mercy. Yes. After all, Maharaj is from the Radha Damodar party, the book distribution party, for many years. Yes. Even a few years ago, he would go out on the Christmas marathon in London to distribute books. It's quite something for the whole month. Quite skinny and crooked and this and that, you know. Not staying in the warm weather, no, in the winter, you know. London winter. Yeah. Somehow or other, the bliss of being an agent of mercy is irresistible. To be an agent of mercy, what more can we desire? That is the most wonderful experience that is available in this age. Because this is the Yuga Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. And this Harinam Sankirtan is about congregational chanting, it's about involving others in it. And if we can be an agent of mercy, that will give us the greatest ecstasy we can experience in this world. It is there where Krishna praying will awaken. It is there where the chanting of the holy name will fructify. When it is combined with this spirit of desiring to flood the entire world with the mercy of the holy name. Because it is there where we can attract the mercy of the Lord, because it is there where we are fully partaking in the actual purpose of the Lord, to flood the entire world in the ocean of mercy. And thus, by doing so, the Lord will just be so pleased, and then anything can happen. Then we can, in one moment, we can be lifted up above our normal state of mental disturbance and all these things that can just disappear, and we can just be uplifted to the ecstatic platform. So I pray that this coming Rath Yatra may be an ocean of compassion, and that this coming Rath Yatra may somehow or other touch the lives and permanently change the lives of many people, and that it will be a most transcendental event. It's not about who sings the most beautiful melodies. It's not whether the kirtan rocks the most, although, of course, it's fun when it rocks. It is simply, let us be part of an ocean of compassion, And if we are part of this ocean of compassion, then it will be the most blissful Rath Yatra. Most blissful. Lord Jagannath will be ecstatic. Ecstatic to deliver all these conditioned souls. Lord Chaitanya will be smiling upon us. Prabhupada's desire fulfilled. Prabhupada's unlimited compassion for the whole world, now seeing us as his agents. So it can rain tomorrow. Not water, because the weather forecast is good, but it can rain tomorrow. It can rain buckets of mercy. And if somehow or other, when the Ganga comes into the universe, then it basically comes because there's a crack in the universe because of the toe of Lord Vamana. So then a drop from the causal ocean comes into the universe and it falls down. When the demigods are seeing that this is coming in, when the demigods see that this drop of the causal ocean is falling into the universe, they are ecstatic. A drop of the causal ocean is not a little bit. It's like gushing in huge quantity. And what do? They bring kumbhas, they bring heavenly containers, and they catch that water. They catch it. Then they carry it on their head and bring the Ganga down. The demigods will not let the Ganga fall down. The demigods will carry the Ganga down on their head. Why are they doing so? Because they know the flow of mercy is coming from the Supreme Lord. There's no doubt about that. But although we are small, we can partake in it. And if we catch some of that mercy and carry it down, we share in the benefit. In the same way, the flow of mercy of Lord Jagannath and Lord Chaitanya is everywhere. But if we capture some of it and distribute it, then we are sharing in the benefit. Then we are getting more benefit of that mercy. In this way, a Rath Yatra, an ocean of compassion, rolling down the streets, big waves in all directions, waves of sound, waves of mercy, waves of holy name, tons of prasadam, everything big time. Then a festival where people can come, and yes, a little culture for those who have some mental reservation. Oh, please come, this is only culture, nothing else. Oh, culture is nice, then it is. Yes, come. Oh, taste some of the cuisine. Oh, yes. It was very cheap, we have to pay something, of course. Yes. No, we want to pay, otherwise we wouldn't want to eat it. But oh yes, it's very tasty, very tasty, very good. Yes, you have prepared very excellent. Culture, why not? Whatever it takes to bring people in, by hook or by crook, brothers, somehow or other, somehow or other, connect people with this transcendental mercy. In this way, we are meditating on Rath Yatra. In this way we are seeing. And we think of Prabhupada in Rath Yatra. And of course the most famous Rath Yatra where Prabhupada was in London when he danced in front of the chariot. And he ran forward and then he would turn around and run in the direction of Lord Jagannath. So each time he turned around, the chariot would stop. Police didn't like it. And Brahmananda was there, and he was the biggest of all. So the police approached him and said to Brahmananda, "Tell the old man to keep on moving." Brahmananda looked at the police. Brahmananda looked at Prabhupada, and for a moment he was thinking, he saw himself between two fires, and he was thinking, of which one am I the most afraid? And it was clear, he was more afraid of Prabhupada than of the police, so he didn't do anything. Then the cop got really heavy, and the cop said, tell him! And then Brahmananda went to Prabhupada and told him, the police wants you to move. And Prabhupada just looked at him, and Brahmananda became the size of a mouse. And that was it. No one could stop Prabhupada in his ecstasy. As the mercy was just flooding London, it was a victory march. As Lord Chaitanya was pulling the chariot to Vrindavan, it was a victory march. Now Prabhupada had a victory march in London. He was flooding London with the mercy. Prabhupada was completely absorbed in this mission, what is known as the external mission of Lord Chaitanya, flooding the entire universe with love of God, wave after wave. We were just in Italy and speaking about Ratha Yatra in San Francisco, and Tridas, a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, early disciple, was there and explaining how he saw Prabhupada standing on the deck of the Ratha Yatra car. It's a famous photo of Prabhupada wearing a garland, white gardenias. He's standing on that deck. And he said, and you see, on the picture, you see Prabhupada's arms outstretched. But what you don't see is that Prabhupada was making movements with his arms. And he was just throwing the mercy into the crowds. And there were thousands of hippies, and Prabhupada was just like throwing and throwing more and more mercy. You could see it. Prabhupada was just showering them with mercy. Yes, this is Ratha Yatra. This was how Prabhupada celebrated Ratha Yatra. And this is the spirit of Ratha Yatra. So let us meditate. Let us meditate. Let us roll sweet balls. Let us get, I don't know what we have to distribute, but let there be a lot. Somehow or other. Right. Whatever mercy we can give people, let us give. Let us give. Let us give. Just let our meditation be giving. Giving the mercy to all. Any questions? Any comments? Can we also show mercy between devotees? Yeah, of course, you can give mercy to whoever. When you get Mahaprasad and Jagannath, you can give it to others also. So many ways. Of course, we can also look for mercy from devotees. But especially, let us look at all those who have forgotten Krishna. So let's just meditate on them. That's what ecstasy is. Yes, we will get plenty of mercy, don't worry about that. There's enough prasadam, for sure. Mahaprasadam offered on the chariot, lots of ecstatic kirtan, and so many things. But to give out that mercy, nothing is greater than that. Nothing is greater. Nothing is greater.
How does japa can distributing mercy, will that improve our japa? What does it do for japa?
Well, in the beginning, japa is the repetition of a mantra, the Maha Mantra, and it's an exercise. every day, where we have to discipline ourselves to somehow or other do it. And we're counting, and we're happy when 16 is approaching. And that's it. But then, as we are getting more and more ecstasy by distributing this mercy, and more transcendental knowledge about hearing Krishna, then we start to approach the holy name in a different way. In the chanting, it involves Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. The Shravanam part is that we hear about Krishna. As we hear about Krishna, so many dimensions open about Krishna. I mean, we can, find out Krishna has a flute, but then we can find out many details about the flute also. It is said that the demigods are very, very expert in Vedic studies. So the demigods, they know everything about music. And so they're expert in different ragas and all these things, completely. I mean, it's just common knowledge. Everybody perfectly knows everything about ragas and different combinations and so on. And then what Krishna is doing is, when he's playing his flute, he's not following these ragas at all. And it's just inconceivable what he does. It blows the demigods' mind, it is said. The demigods are just shocked that it's even possible to make music like that. And so beautiful. It captures everything. So Krishna goes beyond the ragas and it blows the demigods' mind. Oh, okay, so we hear about this. It adds a whole new dimension. So hearing adds a whole new dimension. Then devotional service, sacrifice in devotional service adds a whole new dimension. When we get into the mood of compassion, we bring that back to the chanting. Everything we do in devotional service, we bring it back to our chanting. And that will, whatever we bring back to our chanting, that will change our chanting completely. It will change our smarana. It will change our remembrance. We are remembering maybe details about Krishna, demigods, and but we remember feelings. We remember ecstasy of mercy. And so we meditate again and again. And in this way, this becomes our chanting. If we chant once in the spirit of spreading the mercy, then we'll chant again and again in the spirit of the mercy. I've said many times, like when I lead kirtan, I'm not playing the instruments. I'm not very good at that anyway, but I'm playing the people. I'm watching. So when you see that someone starts to sort of, okay, and I give it a little more, and then people start to go crazy, then make it a little more crazy, just playing the people. Of course, there are different ways to play the people. So many flavors and moods. But always in that spirit of compassion. It's like we saw Madhava in New York, in Rath Yatra, leading a really super nice kirtan. It started, of course, very slow. But I was sitting next to him and I was watching the people. And the people, they all started, their eyes all went on like looking into space, into long distance. They went inwards, no one was looking around anymore. Everyone was like, the eyes were sort of looking long distance. And they all just got absorbed. Then in the end it just exploded, and people also exploded. So I could see, yes, he's also taking these people with him. That is kirtan. Take people with us. Not like clang, clang, bang, bang, we're having so much fun. No, let's take people with us. The more people we can take with us, the more fun. Of course, here we close the windows because the neighbors are getting an overdose at the moment. I mean, I've been in kirtan. Normally it's kirtan on Sunday, and now it's kirtan every day. It's more, so, and because all of you who are here, I knew I was going to rock it, so I knew this may be more than the neighbors can handle. You know. I mean, even good neighbors have cracked under the pressure of rocking kirtan. I know. So I didn't want to be the one to spoil relationships. I hope it didn't happen. But in Rath Yatra, it's ours. The street is ours. We can do what we like. We have a permit for making as much noise as we want. And we're going to do it. Everyone's got to hear it, you know. We can scream. We can play loud to reach even people that are far away. So yeah, we bring it all back. All the dancing. With all that dancing, you'll bring it back to the name. The name starts dancing to you. Hey. Keep on dancing. It says Rupa Goswami is explaining that these syllables are dancing on the tongue, and that Krishna is dancing with us in the courtyard of the heart. It's going to happen. It's going to be quite a dance. Very sweet.
I was speaking with one Singleton devotee in France, and he was just telling me a little bit about their travels, and he was saying that because they are so happy with their own life, that they're very, very enthusiastic to spend all day preaching. And he said that if you're not happy with your life, why would you want to make someone else like you?
Yeah.
So I was just wondering how important you think that is for devotees to be fulfilled in their Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, it's like very important. Absolutely. I mean, mind you, there is an element of austerity, which is inevitable because we're not fully realized yet. We're getting our moments of happiness, and there's also going to be some austerity. But Prabhupada did say preaching is very easy. Just show people how happy you are. And we need this happiness. And not just later, immediately. It should be immediate. It should be for everyone. Everyone should share in happiness. At least some of the time. Maybe not all of the time, but at least some of the time. It cannot be after 20 years you finally start tasting some happiness. No. After 20 minutes, after 20 minutes it's got to start happening. Right? Okay, you just sit 20 minutes with a sour face, but then something's got to happen. Something's got to happen. Like that. Every time. So yes. Yeah, it cannot just be duty, we must do our duty. That's not the Sankirtan. The Sankirtan movement is, there's always happiness, some happiness. Every day, there's something, some moments, some ecstatic moments. Gotta be there every day. Otherwise, we're making it more dry than it is. So it's essential. And then, as I said, then there is austerity also. Anyway, I'm sure in Harinam Ruchi you know about that, like traveling around the world. I mean, there is plenty of it, right? Plenty. Then being in a program, right? Because it's a program, you're in a program, and it's like, we're going here, we're doing this, we're doing that. Are we? Are we really? So the austerity element is there, but then some special moments are there, and Sankirtan is that, immediate. Therefore, everyone should have some connection with Harinam Sankirtan, giving out that mercy, because it's instant. It is really ecstatic, you know. When he, as I say, these pineapple people, you know, I'll never forget these pineapple people because they were just old and poor, and you never had a pineapple. In South Africa, where you can buy cartons of 50 liters of pineapple juice and you stack them up. It's the country of endless fruit juice. It's like, that's the South African thing, fruit juice. More fruit than I know what to do with. So this movement is meant to make people happy. Like, I know, it's some fun, you know. It's not just like, okay, we are this. Hold back. I'm getting serious. We are the zombies chanting the transcendental holy name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. We never look at people, we only look at the ground. Hare Krishna, it's transcendental. You are all in Maya anyway. We don't want to look at you. No. There is reciprocation, there is life, there is exchange. You know, you make a move, and someone challenges someone. You know, can you do it? Then do it. Include people, some musicians are always good for for a stop, right? Oh yes, can play along. So look for opportunities to somehow or other include people in the chanting of the holy name. So I hope everyone will come to Berlin, and those who cannot come to Berlin will send you the videos. What else can we do? And a little bit of prasada, but better come. Much better. Okay. I guess I don't know what's going to happen tonight because there's a mountain of sabji being cut through. But usually there is a little bit of a storm. Monthly, we'll see. Checha knows what's going to happen next.
And also knows what it sounds like. It sounds that some prasadam is offered. So it should be waiting also.
There are some indications that something might happen. It's the official announcement. We'll wait in anticipation. Thank you very much. Chайтаня-caritamrita ki. Harinam Sankirtan ki. Harinam Vaishnava ki.
His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Maharaj ki.